I think it would make a nice aesthetic, but a nice entryway hallway, a large open room. The basic frame is done. Why, hello everyone! My name is ChoniclerVI-6, and welcome back to another chapter in our Valhelsia 3 Let's Play series. I'm picking up pretty much where we left off. I did do a little bit of work off camera, just gathering some resources. I did unfortunately die to a skeleton while exploring a little jungle that's off in that direction. I was looking for just some different mossy cobblestone, because at the moment I don't have a lot of it, and I really like using it for building. Aside from that, I did chop down a bunch of the smaller trees in the area down here, just in preparation for when we build our farm. I thought about taking down the larger trees, but after I had a look at how big they were, I decided not to. It's just going to be way too much trouble, in my opinion. Plus, I think it would make a nice aesthetic to add to the farm, just have the big trees act like giant centerpieces. We'll definitely see what we can do with that. Aside from that, for today's episode, I am focusing entirely on getting my home built, getting the house set up right here, and a little pathway around this edge. That's going to be the goal for today's episode. I did do a little bit of extra organizing just to put my tools in one chest and wood products in another. And I did look a bit more into Tetra, and from what I can see, mostly I'm going to need to do a lot more exploring, especially underground. That's something we can look at for next episode, I think, just to get a bunch of exploration done, see what we can find, if we can get anything that is useful for progression in the future. So, for today's episode, though, we are going to get started on building. Now, the style I like to build in is typically a little bit of a more traditional style. Even though this mod pack has a bunch of extra blocks, I really enjoy just using the classic Minecraft blocks for my house. So, we're going to start with that, and then we'll see what we can add down the line. So right now I don't have a lot of the modded blocks, so we'll see what we can get. Okay. Use my axe to clear this out. We'll add some leaves in later, just for decoration. I like using leaves as like a thick vine, just to decorate the house. Let's see. One thing I need to figure out is how we are going to get this set up. Because I want the main entrance to be on this side, because again I want to have a nice little walkway around this side of the cliff over there, where our main industry and warehouse is going to be set up. Might have to leave some of the industry in the redwood forest, we'll see how it goes. With that in mind, let's see, I've done a bit of thinking for how I want this set up, and I think I want a little bit of a raised deck. So I think for that, let's see here. Dimensions, always have to think about dimensions when you're building. Let's put this right here, just a little raised deck. Not too much for the entrance part. Then have a little bit of an extra, don't want that sideways. Extra little bit of width. Alright. I think that should be good. We can have the path come around here and then up onto the deck. Yeah, that should be perfect, I think. Alright. Then, for just the width of the deck, I think we'll just have it be 3 blocks wide. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. That should be perfect. Don't want too wide of a space. Let's see here. Now, the rest of the frame. I'd really like to have a little balcony over the river. I think it's just a really cool, neat idea. So, what I'm going to do is going to have a little bit of an L shape, I think. Yeah, an L-shaped house where I'm going to have a bit of... Let's see here. Let's get a few blocks just to delineate for my own sanity. It's going to be roughly the width of the deck. Maybe a little bit less, we'll see. But roughly there. I'm going to have the doorway right here. The door will be right there, I think. Then for this part of the building, let's go out a little bit. Put you here. A little bit more. So I want to make sure there's a lot of depth in the building. A good looking building has tons of depth and extra details in there. But the important thing is just to make it your own. Alright, I'm just going to... I made a separate bed while I was gathering resources, just so I don't have to run back over there every time I need to sleep off the night. Alright, let's get it back into the daylight, and we'll keep on figuring out how we're going to do this design. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is this. We're going to have this be the supporting pillar right here. Then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's do, should we do 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think 5 is better just because of the limited space we have here. We'll also have a little entryway. Yeah, 5 should be good. I may need to make a new shovel though. I used up a bunch of the durability when I was working on... Huh. You guys see that glitch? A little bit of a glitch right there. You can see right through the world. Anyway, I used up a bunch of my durability when I was working on gathering resources. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's keep it the same dimensions at least. No, I don't have to. This will just be the entryway. I'll probably just have a little display case here. Let's see. I wanted this building to circle around the deck, so I'm going to put one of the support pillars right here. Yeah, that should be good. That way the building will curve around the deck. That way it integrates a bit more easily into the design. Yeah, it should be perfect. We remove this one just because it'll just connect straight into the house rather than being a support pillar for the deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Guess one nice balcony. I don't want too much though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, a fly. That's a big old fly. And we're at 5. Let's put this right here. I think that should be good. Then we can build a nice little balcony that doesn't extrude too much, but still gives a nice overview look into the forest. That should be perfect. For the balcony, we'll want one. So we'll want an entrance right here, so we can go a little bit out. So let's make this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's a little bit wider there. Alright, that should be perfect. Alright. Then let's move this, let's get this back. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think what I want to do is have it be almost like an extrusion of this part of the house. So I'm actually going to line this up with here. So it's basically going to be poking out a little bit so that this one could come out a couple blocks more. I hope that makes sense. It should make sense when I get this all built up. Okay. For over there, we have it only 5 wide. I think I'm going to want it... I want to have that be like an extrusion in and of itself. So I'm going to make this one 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then I'm going to try to have a... No, not 11. I'm going to do 9. I'm going to try to leave space for a little bit of a garden in the back. I think it should be good. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right here. Let's do a little bit of terraforming just to give it a little bit of space for a miniature garden right here. Alright, that should be good, I think. Let's bring this one back to here. There we go. And out a little bit to right here. Is that 2? Yeah, it's 2. That should be fine. Alright, I think that's a good foundation. Let's all build this up, then we'll take a look from above just to get an overhead view. Before we start on the building part of this, this is just the schematic layout. Going to need a lot more work to get this into a proper build, but that's the goal of today's episode. Alright. I'll definitely need a lot more logs. But that will come in time. Let's get up here and take a look. Yeah, I think that works really well. I like that. I think that works really well. Yeah, I think that should work quite nicely. My goal for my house isn't to be like a storage room or anything. My main goal is for it to be a place to place my bed and my armor stands and maybe my enchanting table, at least until I get a proper magic tower or something set up. I think that's going to be the main goal for my house. The warehouse and other industrial parts I will stick into this area. We've got this nice large flat area, perfect for a warehouse. Got a good amount of space over there in the redwoods as well. So I think that's perfect. I'm going to grab a bit more wood and then we'll get right back to it. Alright, we got a bunch more wood and I actually went ahead and did some quarrying off camera just over by the in our quarry over by the camp we set up last episode. I wanted to get a bit more materials ready to go, because now that we're getting into the thick of the building, we want to make sure we have enough to keep going. I also went ahead and repaired my iron shovel and axe. I'm very thankful I can do that with Tetra. Okay, I think the best thing to do, let's start out with just laying the foundation of this. Because with how we're setting this up, I don't need this actually because that's going to be a balcony. Little deck, so I don't need these. Save some resources. How I'm going to have this set up is going to be a raised building. So that's going to be up to here. Yes, that should be perfect. I'll add some extra depth on the corners when we get there, but above this point it's going to be interior into the building. Let's dig this out a little. And boom, boom, boom. There we go. Now, let's see here. Because, yeah, I think one thing I do love, I've tried to do more recently in my builds, is I'm trying to add a lot more depth, both from the inside and the outside. Just because it gives it a much nicer feeling, I think. There we go. Actually, considering how low on resources we are, I'm going to be a little bit stingy on the hidden parts, the parts we can't see, just because it's not worth going through it and not be able to see anything. Okay. One thing I'm going to do is, now that we have a good bit of stone going, is I'm going to put our stone bricks in here to get some cracked stone bricks, just because I like to have some variety in the appearance of the blocks. Like right here, this is fine, but it really spices it up if you add a few cracked stone bricks. I would love to do some mossy stone bricks as well, but unfortunately we don't have enough vines to do that. I'll have to do a little bit of spelunking to get a bunch of vines to be able to add a little bit of green to the build. But for now, this should work perfectly. Okay. Let's put this here. I don't want another one here because it's going to be the doorway for the path out. Probably going to use maybe like a redwood and regular wood floor combination. Yeah, I think it should work perfectly. We'll try that out. Whoop. Yeah, stone bricks. Okay. Yeah, let me go grab some wood while all this is smelting up, just so that we can take a look and see how a wood slab and redwood slab would look. By what I mean oak slab, just to clarify. So I think the red and the regular oak planks look really nice together. All right, let's get these made. Let's make a bunch of slabs. There we go. And I'll use half of these because I'll need a lot of the logs to get that going. Just to show you guys what I meant with like the cracks, let me just do it right here. Do this here, maybe put 2 here. See what it like mixes it up, adds a little bit of variety. Just draws the eye, I think. I like it. Alright. Yeah, I think for the floor, we're going to do a wood and redwood pattern. I think for the east entryway, we'll do a checker, and then a checkered floor, and then for over here, we'll do more of like a different design. I think it should work. Okay, let me just lay this out. And we'll keep on going the rest of it, because right now we're waiting on our stone to smelt. There we go. Very nice. I really like how that looks. It's not too red, it's more like almost like a ketchup-y red. Very nice. Then for here, this balcony, or rather this deck, I'm just going to make a regular oak. I don't think we want to have it be a colored oak. Yeah, I think regular oak should be fine for out here. We'll add some detailing with the balcony edge after we get the rest of this done. For now, just we have the way up. It's going to be here, then down to the outside. Get down so I can get that placed underneath. There we go. Alright, so keep here, here, and here. I'll add a little bit more detail to this, so it's more like a proper stairway up. Actually, let me just do that right now. I think instead of slabs going down, I'm going to do stairs. Actually, I'm going to leave this until we get the roadway figured out, that'll make it a lot easier for me to be able to get a good idea of how it's going to fit all together. So I'm just going to have the deck like this, and we'll go from there. Okay, I went ahead and made a little chest just to put our extra blocks in, because my inventory was getting a little bit cluttered. I think right now we're in a good spot to get the rest of the frame of the house built. That'll give us a good idea of how high we want it to go, and how we want the roof to look. Because with these little offshoots here and here, I want it to be like low arched roofs going into this main part, which will have more of a sharp arch, kind of like a Viking house. I do enjoy that type of roof. For inside, I think 3 blocks high. 3 blocks high should be good. So we'll do a 4 high pillar. Okay. I think this is supposed to be here. Yeah, this is supposed to be here. Yeah, let me fix that really quick. There we go. Let's stick you here. So I should get up. Won't be seen. 4. Alright. Anyways, we need a lot. I like using wood logs just as like a foundational or supporting piece. In real life, I work as a civil engineer, so I always tend to keep the sorts of things like structural and how it's going to work if it was an actual building in mind whenever I try to make a build in Minecraft. I just think it comes out a lot nicer looking. Oh, let me just finish this. 2, 3, 4. Perfect. 2, 3, 4. I'm very thankful we got all the bread that we did at the beginning of the series. Otherwise, I'd be spending a lot more time getting the farm going instead of the house. The farm will come next, but first of all, I want a place to call home. Alright, I think that's good. Yeah, I think it's good. These, in the inside, I think I might have a second story part here. Maybe have this one be a second story. How would that look? Let me take a look and see. No, I think for this one, I think I'm going to just keep it one story. Especially considering we are going to have a huge number of uses for it. I'm going to keep this one story, just have a nice little house with a little garden out back and a balcony. Yeah, I think one story should be perfect. Yes, I think that's good. Alright, let's finish getting this foundation laid, and we should be good to go. I'm actually not going to put a foundation here because this is going to be where the garden is. So let me see, did I get enough dirt earlier? If not, I can just dig some up. I'm just going to flatten that area out. That's some dirt. I'm going to flatten this area out back here just so we have so I can walk out into the garden, if that makes sense. There we go. So instead of having the stone foundation, we're just going to walk out into the garden. Might have a little artificial waterfall. We'll see how we decorate it. I'll probably do a lot of the decorating and like tweaking of the minute details off camera. But I think this is good thus far. Okay, let's get I think the next thing is to get the rest of the wooden frame in place. So let's get that done. Alright, and there we go. Got a nice little outline for the building. I think I like to use these as like support beams. I think it works quite nicely. We'll see how the interior works out. I may or may not add support beams. We'll see. Okay, how do I want to do where should we go from here? I think the next step is to start with the walls. Yeah, I think the walls are the next step. Let's see, how's our production of stone doing? Quite well. Oh, I did have to cut down my tree over there just for a little bit of extra wood, just so we could get enough to get the frame done. And I think the rest of this is going to be a bunch of figuring out how I want the layout to be. So I'm just going to do a little bit of a time lapse, kind of like the one I did just a bit ago, and I will see you guys once we have this house built. Alright, well, we've done a long ways to go in the house. I've got a lot of details to add. You can see underneath is still, there's nothing under there right now. This means definitely going to be added again down the line. But the basic frame is done. I think I like it a lot. Got a nice entryway hallway, a large open room. Have a secondary room over here. I'll probably be adding some partitions to divide the rooms when we get around to the interior decoration and layout. Up here is going to be the attic, so we've got a lot of work to do up here. But I think that the overall design is pretty good at this point. All that's left again is just the detailing. I do still have to finish the balcony and the deck, but I think this is going to be an ongoing project for the next couple episodes, just because I'm running into the issue that it's taking way too long to finish this for how long I've been recording. There's a couple of parts I want to redo a little bit, like adjust. I don't really like how this side turned out as much. I'm definitely going to be working on this one and the one over here, just to make it look a little bit better in my opinion. Something I'll be doing off camera mostly. Most likely every episode I'll do a little showcase of what I've added to the house until it's in its final state. And yeah, I think that's a pretty good layout. A couple things I will be adding though is some windows to the attic just to break up the roof. Definitely a chimney with a fireplace inside. But yeah, I think we're in a very good spot. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. It was a little bit of a different one, more focused on the building of the house, and even though that's not yet done, we did get a lot of work done. Well, I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, please remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe down below. And until next time, I'll see you guys in the next chapter. Bye!